May the Force be with you, and welcome to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast. For this episode, we are going in-depth into The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 6, now out on Disney+. Guys, be sure to check out all our Star Wars content and all our other reviews. We have plenty of content. So, Akram, getting into Episode 6. A lot of Easter eggs, nostalgia, great stuff with Bo-Katan. So, let me get your in-depth thoughts.
Battle droids!
Buzz droid!
Yes, that was cool. And I also got the Roger voice guy back. That was really cool. We see Jack Black, and we also see Lizzo. Take that how you will if you like Lizzo. But Jack Black was such a surprise for me to see. But I
Christopher
think
Lloyd too.
Christopher Lloyd,
Doc
right?
Brown, shit.
Yeah, that
Great
was really cool. It was a really fun episode. I feel like everybody can enjoy it. I think it hits all marks for what people are looking for in the show. But yeah, I think again, Bo-Katan is really notable to me as always. I like to see her character growth. And I love to see the team up between Mando and just Bo. I think they make a great duo, especially this is more in a sense of like a detective type of episode. It was really fun to see this mystery unfold.
Yeah. At first I thought like Bo-Katan was kind of, in a way, like envious of Din Djarin, like the way he handles things, because he seems like really effective at what he does.
Right.
I love when they went to like speak with like the Ognaughts, and then he mentions Queel, and then he says the "I have spoken" thing because he's learned that now, right? He knows how to talk to these different species.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like a diplomat in a way. But then Bo-Katan kind of has her own style of negotiation too. So like I said in the other review, they kind of work well and they kind of play off each other. They're kind of like a good cop, bad cop kind of thing. And this felt like kind of like a Blade Runner. Yeah. And maybe that was the inspiration, actually. It was so funny because they were chasing battle droids in this episode.
True.
I love just seeing like the old B1s and B2 battle droids. I wish we would have seen at least like one droideka. I think that would have been cool. But what do you think of seeing them back?
Oh no, it was great. And I think we cover a lot of the themes of the show, and I think this episode was perfect in showing reformation, but in droids as well. It doesn't matter; everybody can kind of change, and that was really cool to see. So definitely, I think this really hones in the point now of this season. It was really interesting because to see them in this setting kind of reminds me of the spin-off comic with C-3PO, and it's just the droids, and they're trying to go through this land that's very dangerous, and they do have personality, and they do care for each other. And it was kind of cute to see. So in a way, they're kind of like another alien species, right? They are alive, and it also depends on what your definition of being alive is. So it was really cool to see. Also, I feel like this was kind of bringing back old sci-fi type of things from the Clone Wars. It was like really like out of the box type of stuff. So we see like this re-engineering of nanobots. Fake as hell, but still it was a pretty cool thought that they have like scriptures on them or
Chain
something
codes,
like coding.
think, yeah.
Right, that was really cool. That reminded me so much of the Clone Wars. I felt like this was a very kind of Clone Wars-esque episode.
You know what I love about Star Wars is that they take so many elements of sci-fi and kind of turn it on its head.
Yeah.
So what I loved about the kind of the droid bar scene was first of all, I didn't even know those existed. That was kind of cool seeing like all those droids like hanging out. They're probably like smoking a cigarette or something.
Right. Playing
a hookah bar.
Yeah.
But I thought it was cool because it's like a lot of the older sci-fi movies were about robots taking over humans and kind of like taking away their jobs, right? We see that in even our current climate where like we think technology is going to overtake our jobs or we're going to become obsolete. But in this episode, it's the reversal of that. The droids are actually scared that the humans are going to take over their role as like manufacturers or laborers. It's so interesting that they kind of play with that kind of like foil in a way. I thought that was so cool.
It's really cool. Wait until they hear Elon Musk's warning about AI. Then I don't know. Maybe they're gonna have to off themselves. I don't know.
like battle droids delivering Amazon packages or shit.
Yeah.
you gotta go to your package and a droideka just like comes out.
They just throw the box. It kind of feels like that right now with my Amazon packages. All right, this close to being stolen off my porch. But yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was so funny. Yeah, it was great to see the battle droids back, and they actually did have like the Clone Wars voice.
Yeah,
I always preferred the Phantom Menace battle droid voices in a way.
Oh wow!
Like, I always liked that the Clone Wars had their own thing, but it's kind of weird seeing it in live action. But it was still cool nonetheless. I liked seeing like the return,
and it was also cool to see this chase sequence. I thought it was really interesting because now. Of course, the Clone Wars, we've seen so many battles between the clones and the actual droids, but I feel like there's something about live action that when you see how the droids run and how strong they are, for some reason it just like makes me think, man, the clones went through a lot.
We've never really seen the droids be that athletic before, unless you play like Battlefront 2, right? Where they like sprint. This battle droid was like Ghostface in this episode. Man, my man was sprinting.
No, you know how this droid was? It was like in that scene in Get Out when you had the guy that's like he passes the people. Oh, like damn.
Like, shit, that battle droid probably saw like Zoom and Barry Allen like in the Speed Force. Shit.
And it sounded like Mando was so strong just tackling him down. So I was like, damn, this motherfucker's suit must be heavy. Like, wow. Yeah, but
that was awesome though.
It was cool. Like again, it's like a kind of there's something about live action that when you see it, it's like The Last of Us. Like when you see it, then it adds a sense of it makes it more grounded. You know, you could get away a lot with animation, but when you see this physically, it's like wow, these guys were must have been really hard to take down. And especially which was really cool to see Bo-Katan actually deliver the final blow. So I guess. I forgot. I don't know. I forgot the lore, but I think it's probably easier to take them from behind or something like that.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And she had experience with that too, so it's kind of cool. It kind of brings it together. I really enjoyed that. Yeah,
and even just the world building. Like The Mandalorian is great for like this kind of expansion of the Star Wars universe. We've seen so many planets already, where like old and new planets, but here we see another kind of like independent world, like Navarro. They kind of have their own. Well, they're kind of like they were like pre-Empire, but then they kind of changed the ways. Like Jack Black was like an ex-Imperial. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like you were mentioning earlier. Like everybody's going through this rebirth in a way. It's like everybody. I think even Lizzo's character was like, "In this galaxy so vast, like, is there no room for change or forgiveness?" I thought that was an interesting concept.
Back to the thing, and she was great too in this episode. Actually, just want to put that. She was actually really funny.
She reminded me of the queen from of the dwarves from Rings of Power.
Oh yeah. There's something really like wholesome, I guess, and loving about her character, and also she Grogu and her got along really well. I thought that was so cute. She treated him kind of like a dog, and she was scratching his head. He was like,
Grogu was like, "Hey, auntie."
Right, hey, auntie. Oh yeah, he helped her cheat too in that little game at the end. That was so funny. It was really funny.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, Christopher Lloyd's character ends up being like this kind of like ex-separatist, or like this. As surprisingly, like it's like the separatist is so far gone in the past. I'm like, damn, like you went through like 3 like wars already. Damn. Like you're really loyal to the separatists. Like, but apparently he was like a Count Dooku sympathizer. I thought that was cool that they mentioned him too. But then getting into the nitty gritty, so Bo-Katan now has the chance to meet her old Mandalorian cohorts, and she tries to persuade them to join her cause. So what did you think of that whole kind of like duel between Bo and I love his name too. His name is like Axe Wolves. That's such like a badass name.
Yeah, well, it was pretty cool to see that they had their ship that was like a part of from the Empire. I even like the introduction, but now we come full circle and we see them, and I think, damn, there's so many of them as well. And they're really just the Mandalorians are very kind of like nomadic in a sense too. They just go with the flow or wherever they're hired, and I like to see the background dressing, how it's like a lot of camps and just playing with each other and whatnot. Again, this scene reminded me so much of the Book of Boba Fett with respect. The Mandalorians actually in a way kind of like, if you think about it, our society, like there's a lot of probably different groups that are very Mandalorian-esque, right? We do take many things Like we make these choices through honor or like respect or principle later on, especially when you mature. So I like the structure. It doesn't matter where you are. There's always like this type of structure, these rules. And so the fight was really cool. It was really badass to see. I'm glad they used the jetpacks a lot as well.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool. And then she did like a drop kick thing. That was really cool.
Yeah, I love when she like they like fell off the ship and then she like used her coil thing to like bring him down.
Oh yeah.
It's so cool how like they utilize like all their gadgets, right? In a fight.
I love it. Yeah, and then the little blade thing that pops up and she was like that. It was a really well done fight, I think. It was well choreographed. And I think the most powerful moment was when she said to him that we basically need to unite, right? We can't just like kill everybody and we need to get together. And also it's a symbolic thing because Mando gives her the Darksaber. And they were like, this is bullshit, she didn't earn it, blah, 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 blah. But he said the story. And so this isn't a gift, right? This is in a way like her right. I thought that was really beautiful.
Stop the steal. Yeah.
Yeah. And this thumbnail, if you guys saw the picture from this thumbnail with the Darksaber, that was such a badass part. So yeah, it was really great. What did you think?
I like that loophole that they played because a lot of people actually were online were saying like, well, if Din Djarin technically lost to this, cyborg thing, and then Bo won it from the cyborg, doesn't that make her technically the owner of the Darksaber? So it actually came to fruition, and I like that they didn't shy away from that. And I think it just makes sense, honestly, her owning the Darksaber. She had it before in Rebels. She kind of, lost her chance, and she tried to, you know what? I think I like it because she tried to claim it in the last season through like her kind of like her way of doing things, and it didn't work out. But now she kind of gained it through like the traditional Mandalorian way, right? Through honor, right?
Yeah, it was very organic. It was more natural. I think in that sense, it's a very like type of conservative approach. It's like I love how they play with different ideas, and it doesn't feel very biased too. And it's not like they're saying like the quiet part out loud. It just feels very organic in the writing, and it's like sometimes this works, sometimes this works, and it's fine. I love that. Yeah, great point.
Yeah, even for Din, that felt like such a very, I guess, progressive move on his part.
Exactly. Yes.
Because you would think like he would be like honorable to always like, oh well, you have to fight me to get it. But he actually like opens up and he's like, well, through this legal loophole, technically she owns it, right? And I like that they didn't disagree either. It's like they didn't question or challenge it, right? And you made a great point about like the Death Watch armor too. I like how like they're very like uniform.
Utilitarian,
and, like, utilitarian, and the Mando's sect of the Mandalorians, they're like very mismatchy, kind of like custom in a way.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see like them like collaborate. I want to see like how this ends with like retaking Mandalore. I want to see them as like an independent like planet, but still no mention of Moff Gideon. So we only have like a few episodes left.
We have like 2 episodes, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's really no room for, I don't know what else they could do. A lot of the episodes honestly felt like filler. I mean, there was kind of an overarching plot, but I think definitely we will see the Mythosaur. If not the next episode, then the last episode for sure.
Shit.
But give me your predictions.
Yeah, I hope that now they could go to Mandalore and see the Mythosaur, like you said. It's in a way it's kind of lazy. I thought that they would show more of this, like at least like a little montage of trying, like she knows different groups and she's gonna go around. It's just like, that's fine. It looks like kind of like a platoon of Mandos there that she knew. That's fine. Okay, but that's kind of like a lazy way to do it. I wish there was different types that we could have saw. Like they did that in Avatar. Remember when Jake was trying to? I
was just gonna say they gave her like the bow of the Omek Takai. Like you will unite the people.
She I mean. They committed Ikran, but
she went to the Metakai. She had to swim with the whale.
Right. She can't hold her breath. Right. No, I mean, but that's fine. I mean, hopefully we get to this. I don't know if they're going to show Moff Gideon. At this point, it's kind of like they're just going to shoehorn him in. I hope it's not too rushed. It does feel like a lot of these episodes were filler. It did lead to somewhere, but I'm scared that the finale will be too rushed. And so this episode coming up, Remember when we had our concerns with the Book of Boba Fett and it was like around later on and we're saying, oh, this doesn't really feel like it's going anywhere. And then all of a sudden they're just going to jump to it. Feels rushed.
Right,
I'm scared that this is going to follow that trap. And it might actually. It seems like that's the likely scenario, unfortunately. But yeah, for sure, I think it's going to be a lot of introductions. A lot of, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Yeah. And then I wonder what's going to happen now, because we're going to have to wait like maybe 2 years for season 4, or unless if they're like going to have him somewhere. Yeah.
Like Ra's al Ghul, I'm like...
I don't have to save you.
Right.
Yeah, well, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad to think about that we'll have to have that long a waiting until next season. Perhaps maybe the final... I hope the final episode's at least like 45 minutes or something, because these episodes, even though they feel like they fill a lot in them and they're just very like fast-paced like episodes.
Right.
So I wanted to not conclude on like a fast-paced kind of thing. I wanted to feel like natural, even if it's set up for next season, which probably will be, because Jon Favreau has stated that he doesn't really see where this show ends. So we'll probably get at least like a couple more seasons out of the show, which I'm fine with, to be honest. I think this is a great show. I think it does a great job of reselling Star Wars to a new audience and old audiences as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think for sure we'll probably see Moff Gideon. If we do, and I also wonder if it will also kind of relate to like Ahsoka's show, because they're kind of also setting up Thrawn might make a return. So maybe Moff Gideon, does he have like some kind of, you know, connection with that, or like with the other Empire remnants?
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, let us know your thoughts and theories in the comments below. But yeah, thank you everybody for tuning into this spoiler review for The Mandalorian episode 6, now on Disney Plus. Check out our other Mandalorian episode reviews as well. Check out our other content and our other playlists. But we are so busy this week and this month. We have so many reviews out already, so many movies, so many shows. We're still covering Succession. We'll be covering a lot of other shows on HBO and television as well. But Akram, take us away.
Yeah, guys, again, like this video, you better, else we're coming after you. Maybe not. But anyways, guys, you know, we appreciate you. Thank you. If you made it to this part of the video, thank you so much. You greatly help us out. And yeah, we're going to try to do some more networking. So stay with us, because you might see some cool faces in this channel. But Dylan, say your thing.
Thank you guys so much. And until then, this is the way.
This is the way. See you guys.